Daily Motor top tip, if you're a texting teenage girl, buy the Ioniq 5.
That's right, or any Hyundai.
Yes, or any Hyundai with highway driving assist.
Yep.
Preferably highway driving assist 2. Hey everybody, it's Charlie and Chris with Daily Motor, and today we're about to go out and drive our second, for both of us, Hyundai Ioniq 5. I'm quite excited about this car because I like electric vehicles, and this is a very cool looking one with a lot of range, a lot of features, and a good spec.
It's from the future.
It really is. Look at all those pixels, Chris.
Many of pixels.
Many of pixels.
Yes. See, I think this looks like a Lancia Delta Integrale, but styled by Pixar.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. That's pretty much what everybody thinks.
Oh.
I mean, maybe
not a very unique opinion.
Maybe the Pixar thing is new. Go ahead and hop in it if you will, and press the brake pedal so that the viewers can view the pixels in
black
red.
Ooh, huge wasp.
Oh, that's great. Witness everyone, Chris being stung. Hey, look at that. That is cool. Hey, get the air conditioning running in there too. Get a little startup sound. While he's doing that, I will pop open the...
000 high. Oh, he wants me that to be open.
He'll unlock it for us. Oh. There we are. Ioniq 5. Now Hyundai is actually trying to break away from the Hyundai badge with this and actually kind of create a little sub-brand in Ioniq. So we'll notice when we get in that there is no Hyundai badging on the steering wheel. They're trying to be a little more subtle about that. In a lot of ways this car is very funky, but in a lot of other ways it's very normal. And back here you just see and trunk. No big surprises there.
It's very open up here.
Chris is telling us it is very open. But this door is not very open because there we go. The handle has presented itself to me.
I can just walk through. Look, I can just.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that as we get driving. There are pros and cons to that. Could you get the climate control running, please? Or is it?
Yeah, it is on.
Now that is actually. Oh, just kidding. Vents are on the side here. They're not blowing back here. Maybe the rear is turned off.
Rear
or
is
something.
probably off.
Maybe it's in some sort of eco mode. It's very silly. I like the feel of this leather. I don't particularly like the smell of the car. It's very Hyundai
like
smelling.
industrial waste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rear sunshades, that is good for children. They don't tend to like the sun.
I don't like the sun either.
Well,
Actually,
also
yes,
good
I
for
do.
Chris. Just kidding, he can't make up his mind. We see more pixels down there. Really, they're just squares.
Yep.
I don't know what makes them a
these
pixel.
Square designs are on
Nearly
the
everything.
seat top, the seat back, and the seat bottom.
Look how cool and futuristic that front looks, though. Let's get out of the rear. Mother,
are you child?
father, sister, brother.
Let me let you out, son.
Oh, thanks.
Look at you.
Thanks, Daddy.
Yep.
All right. Enough seahorsing around. Let's get to this.
That's a big door.
It's a big door, and
really
these are
big
big
door.
wheels.
Yeah, 20-inch wheels.
I'm not a fan. More sidewall equals better. Quit shortchanging us on sidewall. There seems to be a chip shortage on sidewall these days.
This looks like what everyone would have told you a car would look like in 2020 if you asked them in the late 90s.
Yes.
Oh, I hit it with my hand.
You're certainly going to be stung. Question for you. Is this plastic cladding?
Why is there an infestation of wasps over here? But yes, that is plastic cladding. It's just silver.
So does that mean you can do adventuring with this car?
I would say so, yeah.
Huh. Good to know. Let's take a look at the front. We haven't done that yet this video. Gosh, that looks cool. That looks so cool. All right. Let's get behind the wheel and drive this baby. Get some Ioniq on the kick plates. Yeah, this is quite open. And now me being an individual who does not choose to carry a purse, I always thought this is cool. Alyssa pointed out to me this is not a good thing because if you set a bag right there and take any corner, it's simply going to slide into your feet.
Why wouldn't you put the bag here?
Well, you could.
Isn't this what this is for?
Perhaps. But what is this space for then?
So you can do Chinese fire drill while you're driving, while that's driving itself.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like the best use of space now, does it?
Not really.
Whereas in like an EV6, this is proper console storage space.
So I can operate the throttle while I'm in passenger
Chris and
seat.
I can play footsie. That's the advantage of the
I can
Ioniq
operate
5.
both pedals from over here.
So really, it's a car for driving instructors. You can just reach over and
Yeah,
hit
I can literally operate both pedals from over here.
Mm-hmm. The only excuse for this is if it were going to be like that Sable that's in the back of our garage, and there would have been a seat right here.
Oh,
In fact, someone should come up with an aftermarket seat insert.
Yeah, because does this go back?
No, but this whole thing does.
Whoa.
I know it's not a ton of distance there, but you can make this area larger, or you can make it less large. I don't quite understand why.
You've got your USB port down here for CarPlay, which
that's
is very
convenient.
far away.
It only goes to 62. Thank you. This is why physical controls are better. Is this a magnet? I think it is. It's like a magnet surface, like you could magnet things to it, I believe. We'll test that later on this week. Oh, is that magnetic?
Yeah.
The strap is?
No, the whole watch. Oh. Okay, never mind.
It's like a fridge. You know how fridges are magnetic? Like you can stick things to them? It's like that. Okay. There's another USB. Oh, wait a minute. No, you're right, Chris. If you want to plug in CarPlay, you have to put it all the way down there. Because these are
those
just...
are only charging.
That's a terrible design.
Yeah, I mentioned that in my Topher review when I reviewed this a couple months ago.
You know what else is a bad design? Is this will
Ooh,
chop your
that's
fingers
pretty
off.
neat.
Put your hand up there.
Nope.
All right, you do it to me. That genuinely, it doesn't hurt, but try it. You'd think there'd be some sort of safety catch.
Ooh, the glass is hot.
It's pretty much stuck in there.
Yeah.
No.
It malfunctions and you have to cut the roof
To
off.
drive like that. All right. No power adjusted steering column either. That's also a downside.
These are very silver.
Quite.
That's your shifter.
It is,
It's
and I
not
like
phallic
that.
actually at all, is it?
No.
Thank you for testing to make sure.
I like that position of the shifter though, because as we know here at Daily Motor, we like column shifters. And
Yes, we
this,
do.
by definition, is a column shifter.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Not phallic whatsoever.
Climate warmer. Is this a thing you can press?
What?
What? I don't know.
Does this have that weird switchable menu? No, it doesn't. It just has a volume knob.
No.
The EV6 has the weird double menu thing.
I thought that was us at first.
I also thought that was us. You have to have a beeper for F-150s.
Well, see, the annoying thing with Hyundai Electrics and Kias, they make that low-speed whirring sound up to 25 miles per hour.
Oh, right. For health and safety reasons. Every single person in that semi-truck was staring at us.
It's because we have one of the coolest-looking cars on the street, Chris.
That's true.
How do you feel about the Econoline steering wheel?
I like the steering wheel in this car. I think it's nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're okay with the empty
Yeah,
bottom?
I kind of like that when they're like that. I mean, all you really need is two spokes, right?
That was the philosophy for the E-Series. How do you turn on one pedal driving?
Oh, paddle shifters.
Right. That's another annoyance with these cars is you have to turn iPedal on manually each time, I believe.
Yeah.
Also, there seems to be a delay between when you let off the accelerator and when iPedal kicks in. Let's see how that works for us.
I think it's more aggressive when you're in sport mode. Which,
Silverado seems to be going straight.
Yeah, drive mode's like a Porsche. It's on the steering wheel.
Mm-hmm. 2 seat memories. That's interesting. There'd be a third, but there was a chip shortage. This is the all-wheel drive model, meaning it's sporty and there's lots of grip, and I still cannot get air on my forehead for some reason. Where is it blowing from?
It's on auto. No, it's not even on auto driver.
It's coming out from here, but I can't direct it properly.
Oh, here. Oh, wait. Fuck. Excuse me.
How are
I'll have
you?
to bleep
All right,
that out.
it's going to. All right. I'm becoming cross because my camera is about 150 degrees.
Woo, yeah. That's kinda
Seriously though,
quick.
the air will not go up. I'm very, very confused right now. I'm just gonna have to end this review. Okay.
That's going like right here.
I think it's sort of getting there now. Yeah. A lot of white on the cluster, and I assume there's a night mode. I'd hope.
Yeah, I think when you go into sport, it changes it too.
Okay.
It may only change the blue to red.
Because you had a similar complaint when you were driving the Kona this morning. You said you drove it in eco mode because you didn't like the white
It's so bright.
gauges.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
why.
and I agree that
This
digital
is like
gauges
people that
should be
use
white.
Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube in day mode.
Yeah,
How do you
they're
do that to
psychopaths.
yourself? My Facebook was doing this stupid, irritating thing the other day, and before you judge me for having Facebook, I only have it for Marketplace. But it's stuck in day mode, and it wouldn't let me go into night mode.
Every boomer who's watching would be like, "Why would I judge him for having Facebook?"
Yeah. I don't think any boomers want an Ioniq 5. If you are a boomer and you're watching, then you're probably a cool boomer
Cool boomers.
who doesn't yell at waitstaff.
Also, I don't like how the screen is half blocked by my steering wheel.
Right.
All right.
It sounds like crickets.
Yeah, there's a strange hype. Don't stop, keep going. I'm getting cross with the animals now. All right, we need sport mode.
You get very cross when climate control doesn't do what you want it to do.
Yeah, I do. Is my heated seat on? Because I couldn't even.
No,
All
I
right.
didn't. I didn't. I have not touched it. I know that now is not the time to put your heated seat on.
Going into oversteer.
No, just in general, because you're already irritated with how hot you are. So
It's good. Ooh, the paddle shifters have cheese grater material on the back. That's good. Yeah, why does the powertrain sound so high pitched?
it sounds like crickets. Maybe some sort of noise is on. Should I venture into the infotainment?
No. I do like how the power thing is blue when I'm regenning and it's red when I'm
Ooh, the
accelerating.
screen's hot.
Yeah, everything's hot in this car.
It's like actually really hot.
Also, there's a percentage of torque in the middle. It's 0 to
Wait,
100.
what if I put your vented seat on?
That's not going to help my face.
Oh. Yeah, just put it on one. It'll make you a little less anxious. The screen is so hot. Setup.
Ooh, that does feel nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Here's 45 miles per hour.
I did the opposite of what I usually do.
You're right.
I usually try to make you irritated. Alright, let's see. Drive mode. Climate control eco mode.
Brake mode. What does that do?
Brake mode.
Unavailable while driving.
Oh, well.
The style of brake responsiveness. What styles could there be? It's such a Korean thing. Does this car have the silly sounds of nature? Probably does.
Probably, yeah. Just touch right on the tip there for park.
Okay. Optimized for
sport
balance,
brake-
comfort.
Should we try
Optimized
sport
for
braking?
Sure, I'll let you try that.
Oh, it makes the brake calipers
It's red.
red. Wow. I just wanted to see if there was any propulsion sound, is what they call it, right?
Ooh. Smart regen. Oh, that's smart regen. We want.
Strong.
Yeah, but that's for the smart regen feature. That's not for normal regen. Smart regen will actually track the vehicle in front of you, and if the vehicle in front of you is slowing down, it will regen stronger.
All right. Observation. That is not an Ioniq 5.
No, that looks like an i30, which we don't get here.
Right.
So they're just teasing us.
Mm-hmm.
Can I? Oh, select theme. This is good.
Dark mode.
None of those are dark.
What theme was it on?
This one.
Ah.
Hey!
Yay! Much better.
Cool.
So we've got a black screen and we have sport brake feel. I'm going to be driving a completely different car than you just drove.
You truly will be. I'm going to turn off the beepy beep sound for touching the screen real quick.
Why am I even getting out, actually, is the question.
Just going to Chinese slide over. Wouldn't this be a Korean fire drill?
Yes. That's racist.
Oh, it's not. Take a look under the hood here. Not really any frunk in these Korean EVs. You have this small little bit, maybe enough to put a charger. Not much, though. I do think this car looks excellent.
You've really got the climate going quite
Yes.
a bit over here. You know what's weird is this is inherently backwards, because to put it into drive, you push away from you.
Yeah, I've had that complaint before.
From me.
I've
And
had
you
it.
told me that I was wrong.
Really?
Yeah. So
Oh, yeah,
you think that that's reverse, right? And you think to pull down towards you is drive.
Because you're putting a
'Cause
shifter
you're like
into drive.
pulling it down towards you.
But also the flip way of looking at it is backward for reverse, forward for driving. What way do you want the wheels to go?
Right, but most cars, like if you're in a Mercedes,
I agree
you
with
push
you.
it down for drive.
I do agree
You
with
don't
that.
push it up.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's a very ominous backup sound.
Oh, do I have to turn iPedal on manually? Yes, I do.
I'm comfortable.
Is the heated steering wheel on?
If it is, it's not intentional.
I think your hands were just so hot that they heated the steering wheel up.
Yeah, that could be it.
So we're gonna have to try out this sport brake pedal feel.
Yeah, if
See
you
how that
eat
is.
the dash, then we'll know that it's made a difference.
Feels like a brake pedal. Our attention is high.
These extend? Yeah.
Oh, those are big.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not. Oh, it's a button. It's not a. Here we go. That's better. That's much more attentive. Here's eco. Much softer.
Okay.
We'll go back into normal. You could feel it take off a little bit. Very light steering. I like the way the steering wheel feels though.
That's a pleasant horn. Quite like that.
Can you tune that from your side is the question.
Sounds of nature here.
I'm just gonna go around. No, I'm not, because that Explorer is definitely not gonna stop.
This is gonna calm me down.
Feeling better?
I am.
You got some more air on you over there?
Have you listened to this one thoroughly? You got into the part with the baby laugh?
No.
Oh, all right. We gotta keep listening. There's like a maniacal baby laughter near the end of the track.
The volume's on 56.
Yeah, you're
That's
gonna get ear
terrible.
blasted when you switch to Sirius XM.
You're driving this, or someone else is driving this tonight. Topher.
He'll appreciate that.
You think people actually drive about listening to this stuff, or no?
No, I think it's entirely a gimmick. The Koreans love gimmicks.
Is it copyright?
No,
Why is there wind in the mic? Or is it snow?
It's a snowy village.
So it's like basically supposed to be somebody like walking
Yes,
to a house where there's a crying baby. Or a laughing baby, I guess.
presumably.
I like the way these paddles feel.
I'm wondering if they chose a new track, because I think the babies typically come in by now. Maybe they realized that was too creepy. That's a beautiful color on that. Spark.
You can have a Spark still, can't you? Is there one in the press fleet?
I should ask.
You should ask our boy
Cody.
Cody.
Cody wasn't very happy with Chris Amos's take on the Trail Boss. Understandably. Yeah, I don't think we're getting the baby laugh in this one. Shame. And there we go. go.
And the GoPro's overheated, but the audio's still going.
Well, tell the viewers that they'll be hearing from us later.
Yes, viewers, you will be hearing from us later
About our thoughts
on the Hyundai Ioniq 5. Is it a black screen right now, or did you put something funny on here?
Well, I guess we'll find out.
I guess we'll find out.
Welcome back to the Mitten, Chris.
Thank you.
You've experienced road tripping in the Ioniq 5 and an
Yes.
EV in general for the very first time.
Yes.
And I know you shot an entire video about it, but
did.
I am so curious that I didn't want to wait till tomorrow and then have to reshoot and feign our enthusiasm and make it seem like we
Yeah.
were happy about it. I wanted to get the rawness. So let's hop in,
Okay.
just drive up the road, and you can tell me just a little bit about what your experience was like, because you did give me some sneak peeks.
I did. Yeah, I think a lot of people are...
Oh, and everyone, sorry, I should pause. Say hello to Emily.
Oh,
I don't want it
yes.
to just be like the GTI and the DM rally.
Oh,
It's
it's just
kind
like
of
no one
there.
talks about it.
Yeah. Okay.
I was just going to say that so many people are scared of road tripping EVs, including my friend Matthew, who's owned a Tesla for like 2 years, and he won't drive it more than like 50 miles at a time.
And sorry, Matthew, we love you, but I owned a standard range Model
Yeah.
Y at the same time that he had his long range, and we took our car thousands of miles.
I was going to say, you guys
And
took
he
your car everywhere. And so, I don't know, there was like a weird sort of, you know, I go to Chicago frequently, and usually we book a car for me to take, and I'm always like, you know, you've offered an EV a couple times, and I've just been like, I don't really know that I want to do that. But this time, I chose to go to Chicago like a day before I actually went, and this was the car that we had. So I just took this, and the Electrify America chargers along the way, which there are quite a few Electrify America chargers, made it so easy. And the Ioniq 5 charges so fast that one of my stops, I like got some food, and by the time I was done eating, the car was at like 95%. It charged from like 20 to 90 in like 15 minutes.
Sometimes it's almost too fast because you don't have time to get in,
I know.
get your food, come back.
I know, it's like by the time you get out of the car and go get your food and come back, the thing is already fully charged. So super impressive experience, and I mean, I cover this all in my video, and you'll be able to see kind of like my raw impressions. We'll have that link down below. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, I was really, really happy with not only just the EV aspect of driving and having it be free, which, why was it free?
Yeah, I did
you
search
look
for
that up?
Electrify America just in Google News or whatever, just to see if anything, because I know over Labor Day weekend they did a promotional free thing. So maybe it lasted a week where
Maybe.
like you could charge for a certain amount of time for free.
Okay, well, I charged this thing 3 times, and all of it was free.
Which is really
Dime.
cool because with current both gas and electricity prices in many regions, road tripping an electric vehicle and using level 3 charging to do so is not that much cheaper than driving a gasoline car. If you were to take something like a Jetta or a Civic and get over
Right.
40 miles per gallon on regular gas, you wouldn't be saving that much money to use an EV. However, you essentially just had someone sitting at a gas pump paying for your fuel through
Yes.
this entire 500-mile trip, which is pretty
Yeah,
cool.
and they actually gave you a readout of like how much you saved. So like it would have been like $15 each time.
Yeah,
So
and it
I
adds up.
mean, you know, $45 is about what I would have spent taking this to Chicago and back.
Right. And the other thing a lot of people forget is that the Ioniq 5 is actually remarkably efficient as well. So not only does it have a decent amount of range, but it can do that
Yeah.
on not a ton of electrons the way something like a Lightning would have to. I mean, you'd be twice as much electricity used in something like that, which would cost you twice as much.
Yeah, it was getting over 3 miles per
Perfect.
kilowatt hour, which
Right.
I think is like better than EPA, isn't it?
Yep, it's just
I mean,
a hair
I
better.
had my cruise control set at like 73, 74.
Okay, so
and,
comfortable.
I was drafting when I could. And yeah, it did a good job. I was super impressed, and not to mention, I was going to get into how much I love this car.
Well, right. That's what I wanted
Like-
to get a little bit more on just talking in this video, because this is obviously the overall review. A little bit less of the EV portion of the road tripping, and just like the CX-30. What did you think of the car driving it to Chicago and back? A drive that you've done many times.
This is probably the best car that I've ever taken.
Wow.
Because it just did it all for me. There was no, like, I didn't have to do anything. It just drives for you. You know, you have these 3 buttons here for your lane keep and steering, your cruise control, and your radar, your distance adjustment. Yeah, which you really only need to press once, but
Unlike the Infinity that we have this week, that every time you get in it and get on the highway, it resets to the third following
furthest
distance.
distance, yeah,
So, F you, Infinity. That really drove me nuts.
yeah, but this thing is just, it's so impressive, and not to mention, like, it looks phenomenal also.
Mhm.
It gets a lot of looks, and
You drove it to an event with a decent amount of enthusiasts of cars. What did they think?
They were all over it. They thought it was the coolest thing.
That's really cool.
Yeah, Sean was really excited to see it.
Cayman GT4 owner.
Yeah, right.
And he's impressed by the this is, the Ioniq.
Yeah, I kind of emerged from this thinking I would buy one of these. It's not, obviously, the Topher's take is, oh, it's numb at the limit, but like you don't drive something like this at the limit, or at least I wouldn't. So.
Well, and I'll go a little bit further to say it's really numb just about everywhere. Just driving it here, it's very smooth, it's very predictable, but it's not engaging.
No,
by any means.
But from a daily driving perspective, it's perfect.
Absolutely.
It's got a ton of room inside.
You look like you have a ton of space back there, Emily.
The cargo area is very usable. It has a very tiny frunk up front if you wanted to put like
maybe
essential,
put a compact charger in there or something, extension cable maybe.
Yeah, something.
Some gloves.
So
I should point out also, you mentioned the buttons, but even though they look like it, they're not capacitive, which I like.
Yeah,
this isn't a Volkswagen style where it sort of vibrates your thumb. No, it's a real button.
It's like a real button.
It just looks a little more futuristic than the other Hyundai buttons.
Yeah.
Did you find yourself moving this back and forth
not once.
So that's kind of a gimmick.
Yeah.
Although maybe it's a set it and forget it sort of thing.
Yeah, it has ambient lighting, which I didn't know about. Someone had it turned off. Was that you or Chris or someone before us?
No.
No, well, I discovered the ambient lighting last night when it got dark out. I was like, how does this not have ambient lighting? And then I went through the menu and it did. So.
Yeah, it did. Did you find yourself rejuvenating with the sounds of nature at all?
No.
No,
I did not.
All right, well, that's a thing.
No, the sound system's decent.
Okay.
The seat comfort is great. I had no fatigue. Like, between the seat comfort and the car just driving for me the whole time, I was not even tired by the end of like my 5-hour journey.
Wow.
So I was ready. In fact, I stayed up for another like 6 hours after I got there. So
I think it's got thigh adjust. Does it have thigh extension here?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right here.
Oh,
it's like
yes.
Yeah,
it's
like
these little side small. Okay. Yeah. All right. As well as lump. All right. Yeah. Did you find it being annoying at all having to turn iPedal on every time? Or did you just kind of get used to it like this and then this?
Yes. Though I did the other day almost hit my garage, because I backed the cars in front of my house, and I was just going, and I put the shifter in the direction you normally put the shifter going to drive, which is down, and it went into reverse, and I went backwards, and I had to slam the brakes, and I was like inches from hitting my garage.
Okay, a little butt puckering moment there for
definitely a
Topher.
butt puckering moment, but that's like my only complaint is that the shifter's backwards. But other than that, yeah,
nice,
really, really solid thing.
All right, well, I'm really happy to hear that. I will be kind of driving this a little bit more. I'm going to take a little bit of driving tonight, and then we'll get back at you tomorrow morning with our last, final, emerging thoughts with the Ioniq 5. But good things here. 1 week down with Hyundai's electric Ioniq 5. We've been looking forward to driving this car for quite some time, so let's do another brief walk around and then get behind the wheel, talk about our lasting thoughts. At this point, if you've made it this far in the video, you've already seen our initial impressions on the Pixel car, and you've also heard some of Chris's impressions after spending 500 miles or so in it, a little bit more, over the course of about 24 hours, which is a good way to test a car.
Yeah.
A lot of miles in a short amount of time.
Yep.
I do quite like the looks. I don't think it's going to look old anytime soon.
Yes, and I was just thinking, I don't think there's any sort of holes or like ridge or like any indentation under these Hyundai badges. I think it would look sweet debadged without this big Hyundai badge on here.
You're right. I agree, that would look pretty neat.
And there's also a really big one on the back. I mean, you retain the ones on the wheels, and I'm not saying this because I would be ashamed to drive a Hyundai. I just think that
it would look
look so clean without the Hyundai badges.
I also like some of the other colors that it comes in. They're all kind of a mixture of blues and grays.
Yeah.
But this is kind of the most boring color, I believe.
Yeah. This to me looks like if you told someone in the 80s to draw what they think a car would look like in 2020, I think this is what it would look like.
Yeah. A few small annoyances that I've kind of noticed driving the car, but we'll get behind the wheel and talk about those. But overall, this is a pretty compelling package. We already talked about how there's a decent amount of space around the vehicle, and when you come out to it, the door handles greet you. Nice little pull back into
That's like an LC500.
It's pretty much an LC. Although it isn't, because we talked about how we could have used an LC500 this morning to
We're sleepy.
Liven us up on this dreary September morning.
It's quite dreary.
Here in Michigan. Although it is nice to be able to film a review and not have our GoPros boiling.
Yeah. and blown out from how bright it is.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. That too. This will probably be an excellent looking
Yes, it
outro
will.
to our video. So hopefully you're still watching.
Yes. Hello, William.
I thought it. I didn't say it. So, like a lot of the Hyundais we drive, a few just small annoyances I want to get out of the way. First of all, the noise. Listen to this. You're always listening to that white noise machine kind of sound when you're under 25 miles per hour. And some people will be like, no, it's a government thing. But it isn't, because there are plenty of EVs, we just had one recently, that don't do that.
I quite like the sound.
Really? You like that?
Yeah.
Don't you hate how
It's like future.
having to drive through your neighborhood? Because it would be such a nice, peaceful, quiet experience right now if it weren't for that. Like in the F-150 Lightning, it was so nice to just
Yeah. That's
hover
true.
around.
I don't think it bothers me either way, to be honest.
Another annoyance.
The shifter's backwards.
Well, it's backward, and you have to put your foot on the brake to change gear, which
That is true.
you're coming into your driveway, and one of the nice things about electric cars is you could sometimes like kind of back up and then, well, at that time it worked, but right there,
It's probably just reverse. You can probably do it in the drive without
Yeah.
on the brake.
which, side note, let's see how quickly we can put it into drive then.
Oh, that was a weird feeling.
About 7 or so. And a third annoyance of mine, I think the fact, I'm gonna have to turn around and go back into our parking lot for this. I can go down this way, I suppose. I think the fact that iPedal always defaults to off is an unsafe feature. Because, say you're in the parking lot, and you come in and you got iPedal on, you're driving, you're used to the car coming nicely to a stop like this. Don't have to use the brake. Put the car in park, you do something, maybe you fiddle with something in the back or whatever, and then you go back into drive. Wait, iPedal is on. When does
When
it
you shut
turn?
the car off. I think it's only when you shut the car off.
Really?
Yeah, pretty sure.
It definitely turned iPedal off for me at one point. There we go. Reverse. You go into reverse, you back into something, and then you're like, okay, I'm repositioning. I go back into drive. All of a sudden, it's not stopping for you anymore.
Mm.
And I did find a few times driving, because I took it out and met a buddy for dinner last night, pulling into the lot, that was like, oh, it's not stopping anymore. Why does it have to, why can't you just have one pedal drive stick to on?
Yeah, it is frustrating when you drive EVs that use the paddles for regen, where you have to like put it on every single time.
Mm-hmm.
It does get a little bit annoying. I appreciate when I can just flip a switch, or if it has B, like a BMW,
Then you at least shift
then
it
you
in
just shift
one,
it in. Yeah, it's
one motion.
One motion,
Yeah,
exactly.
this is shift here, which is the wrong direction.
Also, this does not have one pedal drive in reverse, and a lot of electric cars do.
Yes, and
You have
again,
to use the brake in reverse.
it's kind of a safety thing, because once your brain gets used to being like, oh, the car's going to stop for me,
Yes.
just by taking my foot off the gas, it
Yes.
should act like that all the time.
Yep, I almost crashed, not this, but I almost crashed the Kia EV6 into the charge point charger because I was backing in.
And you expect it
And
to
I
stop.
expected it to stop. But
Yeah.
I had to like emergency brake so I didn't hit the charger.
Right.
So,
And
yeah.
yeah, none of these things are like high speed, dangerous, like this car shouldn't exist like this. It's just little things that I think it would be safer and more intuitive
Yeah, for sure.
if it did that.
Yeah,
Another thing, speaking of intuitive, you talked about how the shifter's the wrong way.
it is.
I also feel that the track selection buttons are the wrong way.
Yes, they are.
Because
Yes, they are.
this car is implying that, okay, up and forward should be up. So drive forward this way, volume up this way. But track selection's the opposite way. You have to go down to go to the next song. So volume and track are the opposite orientation.
There are some
And
weird things that you have to get used to, for sure.
another thing,
And another thing.
did you notice driving it around for your 500 miles, changing, if you, right there, this thing likes to beep at a lot of different lanes. You'll have a situation where like a 2-lane goes to a 3-lane, and you'll like get over naturally to the 3rd lane, and it beeps at you. And there's probably some way to turn that off, some blind spot monitoring
Oh yeah,
or lane.
I think I'm the one that turned that on, honestly, because
Okay.
like all of the assists were off, so I like turned everything on.
That's
just 'cause
probably a
I wa-
Topher thing.
Yeah,
He probably
he
disabled
probably-
everything.
Everything was disabled, so I went in and turned everything back on, just because I was curious to see like what all
What
it
it
had.
would be like, yeah.
So,
And another thing,
and another thing.
if you're driving with, and this is all Hyundais, this isn't unique to the Ioniq 5 by any means, but if you're driving with the highway driving assist on, the steering assist, and you turn cruise off, the steering assist stays on.
Yes.
So you'll be just kind of be like, all right, I've taken control now, and you're driving, and then the wheel's yanking away from you, and you're like, hey, stop it. So it's
Yes.
a two
But-
button thing.
But
Yes.
a lot of cars don't let you use steering assist unless you're using cruise control.
Well, I guess I don't really see the purpose of steering assist if you're not also cruising. Like, why would I want steering assist right now?
I don't know. What if you're texting and driving?
Then you shouldn't be using the gas pedal either.
I think that it's something that, I mean, there's no reason to not let you do it. Like, you might as well just, if someone doesn't want to be cruising,
right, I just wish
it still have steering assist on. But what you're saying is you wish that it would default to off once you turn cruise control off.
Right, because if your argument is fair.
Yes.
Because I am about the more functionality aspect. But then it should be like, okay, right now steering assist is on, cruise control. If I take cruise off, then it should also take steering assist off. But then give me the option if I wanted to manually turn it back on.
To toggle it back on.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
So Daily Motor top tip, if you're a texting teenage girl, buy the Ioniq 5.
That's right, or any Hyundai.
Yes, or any Hyundai with highway driving assist.
Yep.
Preferably highway driving assist 2. Did you find...
These feel loose to me. See the fabric? Fabric feels loose.
It does, yeah, you can shift it.
Yes, you can. Did I find what?
The lane changing assist to be useful.
I hate the lane. I was hoping you wouldn't bring that up because it triggers me.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's
the worst thing ever.
I tried having it do it.
It won't do it.
Yeah.
It won't do it. You can't do it when you're not going like 70 on the highway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think it'll do it here. Yeah, because you have to have the lane change little icon
yeah,
pop
it's
up.
not giving it to me.
Yeah.
But it would give you the little lane change thing, and you
have to finesse it perfectly, because if you give it too much steering input, it cancels it. But if you don't give it enough steering input, it cancels it.
Yeah.
So it's like...
It's very silly.
What's the point of even having it? How hard is it to just change lanes yourself? Like, I don't know. That was the most annoying part of this car for me, is like having to hear ding every time I changed lanes.
And yelling at you for, you've changed lanes.
Yeah, it's like, wow, thank you.
I think there's only one brand I know of that did it right. I can't remember if it's BMW
Chevy.
or... Oh, you're right, it's Chevy.
Yeah, it's Chevy.
With the Super Cruise, you just press it and it... Bloop,
no, you don't even have to press it. It just goes around.
Yeah,
or you press it and it does it.
Yeah.
And Mercedes-Benz.
Mercedes-Benz does a pretty good job, right? Yeah. Well, let's do a small bit of sporting, even though that's not how most people will drive this car.
The Topher told me it's numb at the limit.
Yeah, I believe him. It's numb everywhere.
It's numb everywhere.
Yeah, it's a numb car.
I think this car would be good for a stance build.
I do too. That would look quite nice.
It would look sick.
Oh, it was angry at me there for taking the line. Ooh, rear end is coming out a little bit. Some lift-off oversteer in the Ioniq 5. That's fun. Okay. All those little complaints out of the way, and another one, which I haven't brought this up yet because I feel like this is probably specific to car YouTubers with GoPros on their face, but the air vents are kind of low. So when I have my hands here, they won't hit my face.
No.
Can you get it on your face even when you're not shooting with your hands at 9 and 3? It doesn't seem like it'd hit my face.
No, not really. My hands were getting pretty cold on my drive.
Okay.
It's just blasting my hands.
My last complaint that I think I might reiterate at the end, but it has to be echoed at least now as this truck.
He's doing it. There's so many cars behind us. He had to make sure he got out now.
You can't buy this car in Michigan.
No, you can't buy it many places.
Yeah, there are majority of states in the United States here you can't purchase an Ioniq 5. And I think that's a shame because this car is very similar to its corporate cousin, the Kia EV6, which is also a great option. I slightly prefer the Ioniq 5, especially because of the looks compared to the EV6. But an EV6, I could run down to Kia of Canton, visit Matthew, and put in an order. I might not get it right away, but I could at least order it, and if they had one sitting on the lot, I could purchase it.
You have to fly across the country.
I would have to fly across the country, or at least maybe drive over to Illinois in order to buy one of these. And I think that's a shame.
Yeah.
And I think it's strange. I think people are more okay with it right now because everything is in shortage and in flux. It's not weird for you to be like, oh, I'd love to buy a PlayStation 5, but I can't. So gotta wait until maybe there might be an inventory drop. Really, the entire consumer market has shifted to the Supreme model.
Waiting.
Where you just have to wait for a feature drop.
Yep.
And try to get one.
I blame Elon Musk.
Okay, well.
Look at all the airplanes over there.
Yeah, there's a lot right here.
Same. Oh, and there's a couple here. Those are like big jets.
Boys. Yeah. That's a flight school there.
That makes sense why they're all the same.
Yep. Would you like to drive?
I mean, I don't care. I mean, do we have anything else? Do you have anything else you want to say?
Well, we have a drive back to the garage, so I figure out.
Okay.
We might as well talk about the good things.
I drove this car like 600 miles. So
right. No, there are a lot of really good things about this car. I love the smoothness of the powertrain. As you see here, I'll kind of come up to the stop sign. Like there's a good spot. I let my foot off the throttle. slows right down. Pull out. It's a very progressive, nice, not yanking us.
Yes.
If you lean way into right near the bottom, you get that hard pull.
Yeah, sport mode will throw you back too. Pretty
Yes.
hard.
But the ride is nice. It's quiet in here. It's a comfortable seating position.
Yep.
This is a bit of a complaint, but I don't think it's super isolated to just the Ioniq 5. There's not much hidden storage in here.
Well, no, because they show you all the storage.
They show you everything, and I don't like that. Again, went out to dinner last night.
Oh, because it looks cluttered, probably.
No, I wanted it's a security thing. I wanted my GoPro to be hidden somewhere, and I had to shove it into the glove box because the GoPro's not going to fit here.
Yeah, that's way too small for a GoPro.
And where else are you going to put it?
In the back with the cargo cover.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get out. It's not like a Miata. I don't want to put it in the trunk.
Sure.
So I shoved it into the glove box, and it got kind of smushed, but it worked.
Right.
So this, I think, could have been done better. And we talked about how you couldn't put a purse here because it would roll into somebody's.
Yeah, you'd have to put it there.
Yeah, which that's
but
a pretty
then
good
Alyssa
amount of
said
space.
that wasn't a good space either, right? Or no?
No, Alyssa didn't get a chance to drive this.
Oh.
No, which is probably fine. She doesn't need to. She doesn't need to want one of these. Because how much does this car cost?
No idea. There's no one running in it.
Ah, you're right.
So we don't know. Could be $300,000 for all we know, or maybe it's free.
No, it's somewhere right around the mid-50s for this trim that we're in, and that's the same price that you could start getting into a BMW i4.
Yeah.
And still get Hans Zimmer noises for $100. So I think I'd have an i4, although this is a much more practical car
and this
with
car
more
looks
features.
way better.
Yeah, you're right. It does.
It looks so cool. I really love the looks of this car. Like it's grown on me since I've been around it so much this week. I'm a big fan of the looks. What I'm not a big fan of is that the heated seat and cooled seat controls are in the infotainment.
Oh, I would have thought it just didn't have heated and cooled seats.
Oh, well, let me show you. Click climate.
Or sure wasn't warmer in ventilation?
Oh, it's probably warmer in ventilation. Just kidding.
Which there's such a delay that
go.
was okay. This is warmer in ventilation?
That's your heated and cooled seats. No, you have to press the arrows. There you go.
Oh. That's a lot of steps. If I were cold in the morning.
Well, we compared the door handles to an LC500, so now it's showing us that it's
in more ways than one.
It's like I'm kind of like an LC500.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Striking looks too.
Yep.
Unique interior.
Yep.
So you can just press warmer though, right? That'll also bring it.
Yeah.
Okay, so still probably just about as fast as the F-150 Lightning. But what is it with these electric cars that the manufacturers think they have to make the seat controls difficult? I blame Tesla. I blame Elon Musk as well.
Yeah, it's all Elon's fault.
And I'm not saying that they're harder in the Tesla. In fact, they're easier and the screen's more responsive. But it was the idea that you can make the seat controls just be in the steering wheel.
Elon Musk has ruined the future of the automotive industry.
Which is ironic because he's also made it very good by making electric cars cool. He's both simultaneously enhanced and ruined. The future of cars. No, I quite like the Ioniq 5. Now here's a question for you.
Somebody actually bought an X3M competition.
Maybe they saw it go by us so many times that they had to have one. But that's not... Oh, that is a competition?
Yeah, it's a comp.
That's a shame.
Yeah. Sorry, what?
What car was it recently that we had and enjoyed, but we're like, this is going to be totally irrelevant in 3 years?
Mustang Mach-E.
Mustang Mach-E. Will this be like that too?
I don't know. I mean, we didn't know that when we drove the Mach-E for the first time.
Yes, but now we've seen it. What's our prediction?
I know, but...
Like, what's our prediction for this?
I don't think it will be. Sean Benet is calling me.
Oh, another complaint. Why is the one USB port for plugging your device in all the way down there?
I think we mentioned that in the intro.
I think we did too, but there's 2 USB ports here just to
Which would make sense.
Yeah,
it would make
because
sense
you could have your phone
but
right in
there's no
with the
connection.
spoiler.
Well, I guess they could wire it under the carpet and up into there.
Yeah. It's those little things they try to get away with.
That is a terrible spot for that.
Yeah. You don't get by from us. I guess that's a little spot you can put small things.
That are going to rattle.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, a lot going on with the Hyundai EV6. Cool car, good car, but places for them to improve. But what I appreciate is they're continuing to push the market. As an electric vehicle, this is one of your best choices. You saw from Chris, both in this video and your full road trip video, how easy this thing is to own, both around town, driving long distances. From the electric vehicle standpoint, Hyundai has the market by the balls. Truly. But as just a car, I'd say the Ioniq 5 is good, but not great, and definitely some things they can improve upon. I think it looks fantastic.
They can do all that when they make the N version.
They can do the N version or the LCI.
Or the LCI.
Yes.
Maybe it'll look like a 90s car in the LCI instead of an 80s car.
Yep. Thank you all so much for watching. We enjoyed our time with the Ioniq 5, and I'm sure if you're an owner or a prospective buyer, you will thoroughly enjoy your time as well. If you want to see more on the car, check the links in the description, and we'll see you on the next one. We're Charlie and Chris with Daily Motor, and as always, Pixel on.
I like what you did there. It's good.